I don't know, in my heart, the way I felt Ludwig killed Maria, I feel like there's something we're missing.
Well, is it that he didn't kill Maria? Is that what we're missing? At what point do you think he killed her? Like, do you think he killed her when he was still human? Or do you think that he was already a hideous horse monster and then he killed her?
Ludwig?
Yeah, like I'm legitimately asking, like, do you think Ludwig killed her?
Did you not see my video 17 months ago? No. I expect you to memorize them by now.
I had to write a fucking 150-page piece. I can't remember what any of the things in that say, and I wrote it. So the chance of me remembering like a YouTube video is like null.
Listen, I only have 87 videos on my channel. Go watch them. No, okay, but imagine, okay, just like I was thinking how Maria, when you meet her in the nightmare, it seems like she's sort of trying to defend the fishing hamlet somehow, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's what she's doing.
Yeah, and the thing is, she's not trying to defend the patients. You can kill them all you want. She's not trying to defend like Ludwig. She doesn't care.
She's dead.
No, but they could have placed her like if she decided, you know, I'm gonna sit before the Ludwig boss fight. I'm gonna no, she's just like literally leave the hamlet alone. So then I was thinking, okay, if she's literally like leave the hamlet alone, like, why would she go and massacre them if she's like doing it in the nightmare? I feel like in real life it would have been a little harder to just be like, yeah, everyone, let's go get the eyes, let's drill some skulls.
No, I think what happened is like that was her, and then when she realized like what she had done, like her being in the research hall looking after everyone is her like repentance.
No, but if do you think she participated in the massacre of the fishing hamlet?
Yeah, I think she participated in the massacre of the fishing hamlet, and then she like realized what she.
And then she's like, "Oh my god, I just killed 55 people. I just realized that."
Yeah.
But also, like, she threw out her freaking requiem in the that doesn't make sense in the freaking well. But I guess that's like symbolic, where she's like, "I'm not doing this."
Yeah, that's what I think happened. I think she was like renouncing being a hunter, and she threw the requiem.
So, but then why would she kill herself?
Well, like maybe that was like part of the like she maybe realized she couldn't go on, so she committed suicide.
No, because it doesn't sit right. Then she should have committed suicide like right after without taking care of the patients. Like something, it just didn't smell right, you know?
Yeah. Well, we know now that like that's because they had a completely different thing planned and they didn't do it.
Yeah, because I'm a fucking genius. You should tell everyone, you should make a video. Sinclair
is a genius.
Brilliant strategist.
Sinclair, super genius.
Yes!
Like Wile E. Coyote. So Grave and I were joking about a spy being Wile E. Coyote before.
What?
Because a German spy, he was doing his Let's Play of Dark Souls 3, and at one point he's like, I have an intuitive understanding of the Dark Souls physics, and then jumped in a hole. Because he thought he'd be able to make the jump, and then he's like, well, the problem is they've changed it in between the games.
Oh, obviously.
And it was like Wile E. Coyote, where he this plan and it just blows up in the space. Yeah, and then that became like a German spy. Super genius. Just like repeatedly jumping into holes.
But yeah, okay, but I didn't finish. Okay, so that seemed fishy to me. And then I'm like,
was that a joke about the Hamlet? It seemed fishy.
No, it wasn't. I have an intuitive pun machine in my head.
Something fishy about this Hamlet.
Then, okay, another question. Like these are two separate thoughts that came together. I'm like, why was Ludwig chosen to lead the healing church hunters?
I guess he was just like the best like combatant they had.
Okay, so he's the best out there, and I've never heard of him. Have you ever heard of him?
But we had heard about him. We heard about him before.
Well, yeah, but before that, we already heard about him once he became the famous guy. But we didn't.
But why would we have heard about him before he became famous? He wasn't famous at the time.
Yeah, but like that's he should have been famous before to be like, oh, this young man who's so brilliant and awesome became the Healing Church workshop founder or whatever because he was so brilliant in his youth. But we don't hear that. We just see this random guy who's like, yeah, I'll be. That doesn't make sense. That's not how life works. Unless he did something.
How life works.
No, it's not. You work hard and you get promoted and this and that. Unless oh my god, I was about to say unless he's fishy, but now I can't.
He's fishy.
He's horsey.
He's just feeling a little hoarse.
Yeah. So I was thinking, okay, well, what if he was actually not as good as people thought? What if he did some shady stuff trying to sort of, get the promotion, get his name known? And then I'm like, okay, well, Maria was like clearly one of Gurman's best students, right?
Yeah.
And so if something happened to Gurman, like if he got stuck in a dream, if anything happened and somebody needed to replace him or to found a workshop
Yeah.
Is that yeah?
Well, no. Ludwig's workshop is not Gurman's work.
I know, but it's like, okay, well, whatever. Gurman disappears and his workshop fall apart. They need a workshop. So whoever would take over, create a new one, would likely be Maria.
Well, maybe Maria had renounced being a hunter at that point.
No, she didn't.
Okay.
You're really okay. But that's the thing. So it's Maria, unless
no, she didn't.
So it would be Maria unless it's Ludwig. And the only reason it would be Ludwig is if he killed her and took her spot.
Okay.
Yeah. And he did it because by this time, like it wasn't entirely his fault. By this time, he already found the moonlight blade while prospecting.
Yeah.
He was like a small-time prospector.
Yeah.
And the moonlight told him, like, listen, you don't want to be a small-time prospector. You want to be a big-time big shot. And so kill Maria and you can do your thing.
Okay.
And that's how this whole thing happened. In my head.
All right. You're like, no! Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me when I'm inventing things. I'm discovering this story as I say it.
I wish. Do you know? It took like 3 months for it to come together in my head.
I'm just like, why didn't we hear about Ludwig before he was famous? It's like, because he wasn't famous. Why don't we hear about Archibald's failed inventions?
There you go. Exactly. You know what? You just déclenché. How do you say déclenché in English?
I don't know because I don't know what it means.
You just triggered some lore in my head about why don't we hear Archibald's failed inventions?
Honestly, like, of all the things we could do, like, I think just like listing Archibald's failed inventions. And they're all just like completely useless things that kill you when you use them.
Like that thing in the cut content.
Yeah, like
whatever the fuck that was.
Well, what happened was someone loaded the hunter model, but they loaded every single weapon at the same time. So we had this trick weapon that was like if you glued every weapon together, you would have ultimate weapon.
It's like an army knife.
Yes, this army knife.
Yeah. Oh my
So I imagine there's a hunter who's like, listen, I know this stuff. Here's what you got to do.
I have an intuitive understanding.
I have an intuitive understanding of weapons and have seen quite a lot of anime. And what you need to do is get this boom hammer and then you glue a beast cutter to the bottom because that way it's doing blunt and piercing damage.
Oh my god.
that Matt would later design Daikatana.
What's that?
Daikatana is a famously disastrous first-person shooter by the guy who did Doom. And like every single weapon had some bizarre, stupefying gimmick to it that usually involved the weapon hurting you. So there was like a hammer, and when you used the hammer, it did like area of effect damage. But because you're holding the hammer, the area of effect hits you. And then when interviewed about it, he's like, no, I designed this, but this is a game designed for X. So what you have to do is, you have to know that just as the hammer hits, you jump out of the way of your own attack.
That is brilliant.
And he had like the first gun that you get, the bullets rebound. So as soon as you fire it, you'll just hit yourself in the face if there's anything in front of you. He's like, no, that's because it was designed for experts.
It was designed for me.
Yeah, and then when people were like, do you regret any of the decisions? He's like, I regret designing it for experts. It was intended to be an expert first-person shooter.
Oh my goodness. So I think my theory of Ludwig killing Maria makes perfect sense if we go by real-world rules.
Yes.
So,
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, like, one thing that really striked me.
Yep. Go on.
Is that, there are notes everywhere in the game. The least they could do is, like, leave us a suicide note from Maria.
Yeah.
So it's a little fishy.
It's a little fishy.
Yeah, it is a little fishy. So, yeah. But I was partially right. Somebody killed her in the previous version of whatever.
That's one of the lines people make fun of in Plan 9 from Outer Space. The detective finds a body and goes, murdered, and someone's responsible. Brilliant deduction.
Did you see my video on the music of spheres?
I saw it in my subscriber feed, and then I didn't watch it because I think I was...
Is it because you hate me?
It's because I had to write 450 pages.
Well, it's been about 8 weeks now.
Yeah, but I've forgotten it.
Because I think it's really good, and I think it explains a lot of lore.
Okay.
And I worked really hard on it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll watch it when we finish talking.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and you have to comment.
All right. Which account?
I don't know.
I'll use the one that I for the streams, which is just
okay.
Okay.
I'll pin it. Make sure you say something nice though, because I don't want to be like, this bitch laughs too much. Pin. Did you see my video about the horsefish?
The seahorse, yeah. The horsefish.
It's like it's getting later and later, and I can't speak. Yeah, the seahorse. Did you see my video about the seahorse?
The guidance rune and the brain.
Yeah, wasn't it cool?
It was, yes.
Yeah, okay. Those are I think those are the two only good videos I have.
Sinclair, do you regret that many of your videos are made for experts? That's why they don't understand them. Someone doesn't understand. It's like, well, I'm sorry, I made a video for experts.
Yeah, sorry, they're made for experts. Well, no, it's just listen, and most of them, because it's just the timelines are a little wrong. I think the concepts are mostly right. It's just how things interact. So, but you said timeline doesn't matter, so they're basically right.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see my Viola video?
Where she has dementia.
Yes. That was the most perfect. I'm so proud of it because it explains everything so perfectly.
Everything. That's what you should have called it. Viola explained perfectly.
Oh my god!
Expert law. Viola explained perfectly. There's a video I watched once when I was on a very long train ride, and I there's no internet reception on the train, so I had to download something to watch beforehand, and there was one that was Prometheus explained with real answers. And after like 5 minutes, I'm like, no, 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 this is driven.
Oh my god.
This is terrible. You don't think anything. There are no answers here.
No. Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Did you know I made a video about Gandir?
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to watch that. You have too many.
I think that one was okay. I tried my best. Basically, my idea was like, I wonder what does Gandir do in his spare time? It must be pretty boring. You just kind of sit there, then somebody like fights you, then takes your sword and you're then like, because I figured like it kind of has to happen every time because there must be a bunch of people who pass through and try to be like the champions of Ashram. So can you imagine like, okay, one person did it, then you like go back and somebody has to do it again. So what does he do in between?
Oh, that's like a thing in Demon Souls that you might run into.
Oh yeah?
If you do a quest right, there is like the guy who's the basis for Gundyr shows up. And he's like, I've been waiting here for like generations.
Oh.
So he has just been sitting there.
Well, no, in my video, he kind of like goes around, says hi to people, like,
hello,
like talks to the shrine maiden, and then he's like, "Oh, okay, somebody linked the flame. Time to go back."
You should get that thing on your back checked out. Oh, it's not.
Yeah. So,
not in this economy.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, he's
we lost our medical benefit.
Oh man, I'm looking at my videos now. I'm like, man, I did one about. Well, I told you, Yorm, I think, was the first long one I voiced.
Yeah.
I did fully voiced. And, yeah, but looking back now, it's like, oh, why did you say that? Why did you say this? But it's okay. I'll do another one with you when we talk about it.
That'll be fun to see like who gets there first, whether it will be like you or